Hello everybody and welcome to my reading channel. Not really a channel. You know what I mean. This is kind of a dream I've had for a little while. If you don't know it about me, I love to read very much. I've read probably 110 books this year. I love to read and I've always watched these booktubers and I've just always kind of wanted to do it too. So here I am in my little library. By the way, I'm kind of sick right now. Just a warning if I break out coughing or sniffling or whatever. But first off, let me give you a tour. Oh my gosh, I'm so stuffed up. On to the actual reading, my favorite part. So I have a Kindle. And that's probably how I read 50-ish% of my books. Cause almost all these books on the shelf right now, I've already read. Example. I actually just bought this. This is a physical copy of The Hunger Games. I read this book probably 5 different times, and I was at Target and I saw the physical copy. I'm like, nah, I have to get it. So I read most of my books on the Kindle, or my new books I normally get from the library because I just don't want to spend money on books I might not like. So all the books I got in my book haul are books I've already read. Or, for example, the book I am currently reading. So the book I'm currently reading called 5 Total Strangers. I'll put the book cover somewhere on the screen. So I have the physical copy coming in the mail, but I don't know when it's gonna. Okay, and quick warning, my taste in books is mainly thrillers and mysteries. That's mostly it. Every once in a while I'll read historical fiction or maybe, I don't know. But that's mainly it, mystery and thriller. So if you don't like that, you might not like some of the books I read. But that doesn't mean you can't still watch me read them. But I'll read some fantasies, for example, this is The Chronicles of Narnia. This is all the books just in one giant one. I read this whole thing, I got it for Christmas. I read this whole thing in probably a week or 2 weeks. Yeah, so I read, some fantasies, I read a little bit of everything. I do read some more stuff, but it is mainly mysteries and thrillers. On to the book. I do have the physical copy coming in the mail, but I have no idea when that's gonna get here. So I kind of don't want to keep reading it because I really want to read the physical copy, and I'm 50% through, and I know I'm just gonna fly through the rest. It's only 300 pages. Oh, my Kindle's about to die. Oh, I'm over 50. It's 306 pages, and I'm on page 204. I'm 68% through. So I kind of don't want to keep reading because I want the physical book, but I think I'm just gonna continue reading this on my Kindle. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. So let's get into that. You're just gonna watch a time lapse of me read. I'm back, and we decorated. we decorated for Christmas in the past few days. I finished the book. Okay, so I'm gonna do this in a list. I'm gonna go 1. I'm gonna see what other people thought of the book. Then I'm gonna say what I thought of the book. And then I'm just gonna give the content warnings. Okay, so I'm gonna read reviews. The first review is gonna be from someone who loved it, then someone who's just like, eh, and somebody who hated it. Twisty, fun thriller. I enjoyed the premise of this, how the 5 came together on this dangerous road trip, and the way everyone seemed like a suspect. It was difficult to tell if there was one crazy person or if the whole car was in on it. The pacing was good, and I liked how things escalated and you never knew what exactly was happening. That was the one I loved it, which I'm not going to say anything about what the book is about because I don't want to give it away if you are going to read it. I don't want to give it away. Which, going into this book, I didn't look at the synopsis at all. I just went in the book, which I hardly ever do that, so it was a good experience. Second review, somebody who thought it was alright. Failed to astonish me, but 4-star moments to lean on. Blah, 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 what it's about. Overall, this had a relatively decent pace. However, I found myself pushing through a few bouts of boredom. There was a handful of scenes that picked up on and really got my heart racing, but unfortunately, these were in minority. Yeah. I feel like this author has a lot of promise. I would definitely consider reading another book of hers. And then this is a 1-star. I was enjoying the writing at first and made it through about 40% when I realized nothing had happened. I was hoping for a twisty psychological thriller and got a really long and dangerous car ride with a bunch of sketchy teens who argue the whole time and make terrible decisions. And also a really thin stalker plot. Predictable, annoying, flat characters. Not good. Okay. Okay, so that's what other people thought, and it had an average of... Have your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, it has 3.3 stars on Goodreads, so my personal opinion, I rated it 3 stars on Goodreads. It'd be like a 3.25 probably. I kind of agree with all 3 of those reviews. I do think it's very fast-paced and like to the point, but I also felt like I just didn't feel very connected to the characters, and I knew exactly what was gonna happen probably like halfway through the book, which sometimes I actually love that, but other times it just was like, are you serious? Like that, this is really where you're gonna go with the book. Yeah, I just felt like at some points it was dragging and just not, you know that feeling when you get when you read a really good book and you just want to keep reading, and I just didn't get that feeling. Just felt very dragging with flat characters and just not a very good ending, very good plot. So that's what I thought about it. So yeah, I rated it 3.25. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It's just not the best book. Which I personally didn't love the author's writing. It might be different for somebody else, but I just felt like it wasn't very like descriptive. Content warnings. There was quite a bit of cussing. Well, not quite a bit, just like probably like once every 3 pages-ish, give or take. Divorce, smoking, tobacco, drug suggestion, alcohol, you know, the usual, which there wasn't a ton of anything, just like, you know, here and there. No parts where I had to like skip through because I didn't really. So overall, I didn't love the book, but I didn't hate it. But the physical copy is still coming. I read it too fast. I did enjoy reading it, but I didn't enjoy it, if that makes sense.
Is that the book you fell asleep reading?
Yes, I did fall asleep reading it at one point. Most of my reading is before I go to bed, and I fell asleep reading it, which, to be fair, I was very tired. But so that's my thought on the books. I will still have the physical copy, even though I didn't love it. So Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more books. Bye.